So the Eurovision Song Contest 2025 has taken place and we have a result. Austria has won with 436 points.
But what do these winning points mean?
This is Eurovision Good to Know. Welcome to our channel. We have compared the scores of all Eurovision years with the current scoring system for you to put the winning numbers into context.
Here we go, some numbers for the Eurovision nerds.
2016 was the first time that each nation awarded 24 points overall, 12 from the jury of the country and 12 from the televote. The Eurovision contest of 2016 was won by Jamala from Ukraine, who reached 534 points overall. The second place in the public vote gave her 323 points, and she was also second place in the juries with 211 points. In 2017, Salvador Sobral was the only winner in recent years to succeed in both the public and the jury vote. He was also the first winner from Portugal ever. He scored 376 points from the public and 382 points from the juries, giving him a whopping 758 points overall, which is the record of most points achieved by anyone in the grand final so far.
So many records in just one victory.
The winner of 2018, Netta, who represented Israel with her song Toy, scored 529 points overall. She won the public vote with 317 points and scored a third place with the juries with 212 points. 2019, the compromise winner Duncan Lawrence brought the trophy to the Netherlands without winning the juries or the public. He scored 498 points overall, with a second place from the public with 261 points and a third place from the juries with 237 points.
2020 was obviously cancelled because of the pandemic, so we skipped this year.
The winners of 2021 were the Italian band Måneskin with 524 points, winning the public with 318 points and scoring a fourth place with the juries with 206 points. 2022, Kalush Orchestra from Ukraine won with a much higher number of points, 631 overall. Most of these came from the public, which they very clearly won with 439 points.
This was at least partially a sign of solidarity from the European public.
With the juries, Kalush was only fourth place with 192 points. In 2023, the winner overall was Loreen, performing for Sweden, with 583 points. She won the first place from the juries with 340 points, and she also scored second place from the public with 243 points. Nemo and the Code won the contest in 2024 for Switzerland with 591 points. He received 365 points as the jury winner and 226 points from the public, which was the fifth place. Now, in 2025, JJ from Austria has won with 436 points. 258 of these points came from the juries, which was enough to win them this year, and 178 came from the public as their fourth place. 436 points is the lowest number any of the winners has received since the current system has been used. In many other years, 400-something points were a second, third, or even a fourth or fifth place. But this year it was enough to reach the victory, because the field was just not as polarized as in recent years. Many nations received the famous 12 points at least once, and more nations than in other years reached several hundred points, instead of all the points gravitating towards just a handful of acts. But these were all just the basic, raw, and, so to speak, the naked numbers of the contests. Since there are different numbers of participating countries, each year the maximum number of points that one artist can reach is different. So 500 points in one year might not mean the same as 500 points in another year.
We will now have a closer look at these numbers within the context of their year.
First, we calculate the possible amount of points. If one act would have gotten 24 points from all other nations, and then we conclude what percentage of this possible amount of points the artist has actually reached. In 2016, the possible points would have been 984 points, 24 points from 41 nations to the 42nd country and their act. Jamala reached 534 points overall, and these are 54.3% of all points that would have been possible that year. 2017 has the same amount of possible points, since it were also 42 participating nations. Salvador Sobral's record amount of points also translates to a record of point percentage within these years. He reached 77% of the possible points. Netta, in 2018, reached around 54% of the possible points, very similar to Jamala 2 years earlier. Being a winner who won neither juries nor televote, Duncan Lawrence also scored a lower amount of possible points, just below 52%. Måneskin in 2021 reached a similar raw number of points as Jamala and Netta, but since less countries were participating in 2021, their slightly smaller raw number gives them a slightly bigger percentage. Their 524 points are 57.5% of the possible points. In 2022, Kalush Orchestra reached 67.4% of the possible points overall. In this case, let's look at jury and televote separately, because in the public vote, Kalush Orchestra reached a record amount of 93.8% of the possible points, receiving the famous 12 points from 28 countries, resulting in the probably unrepeatable nearly 94% of the possible public vote. Loreen in 2023, on the other hand, very clearly won the jury vote with 78.7% of their possible votes, resulting in 67.5% of the overall possible points. This ratio gets even more extreme in 2024 with Nemo, who won 84% of the possible jury points and overall reached 68.4% of possible points from everyone. And now, in 2025, we have a winner whose 436 points measure up to just 50.4% of the overall possible points. So this year does not only have the lowest raw number, it is also the record victory with the lowest percentage of possible points within the years with the current system. We think this really shows how evenly spread out the points were this year, with a lot of nations receiving a lot of points instead of all the points accumulating towards only a handful of nations.
Congratulations to Austria for sailing to victory through an ocean of lovable other entries.
But what do you think? Do you have another interpretation of these numbers? Let us know in the comments. And also, of course, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we plan to publish more Eurovision videos very soon.
Goodbye.